This is the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Thank you for joining us today. Time now for Jeff's Motor Minute.
Yeah, we're going to load it up here. Give me just a second.
Well, yeah, there's no rush. Everything's fine, Jeff. Just calm down, okay? All right. This week we're going to do a special on Route 66. It is vacation time, and some people will seek out the old Route 66.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah, and absolutely. This is the sort of like the before and after, the then and now is what they're calling it. So Route 66 had a major impact on American history in the 20th century. We all know that. Long before the interstates, highways were a twinkle in Dwight D. Eisenhower's eye, it connected many previously isolated western settlements from Chicago to Los Angeles for the first time. Now, this first city that we're going to talk about is called Cuba, Missouri. Back then, Cuba, Missouri intersected the Trail of Tears for long distances between the Rolla and Springfield areas. It was an area where a lot of the American Indians suffered back then during the time.
Oh, yeah.
But it has since evolved, and today, now, the town of Cuba has been designated Route 66 Mural City for its public art and features of the route's oldest continuously operated motel, and it's called the Wagon Wheel. So there's a nice little shot of that there. Our next one is Truxton, Arizona. Back then, in 1857, Congress tasked Lieutenant Edward Fitzgerald Beale with creating the Southwest's first federally funded interstate between Fort Defiance, which I think is a cool name, in New Mexico, and the Colorado River, while also testing the usefulness of camels as backpack animals in the American deserts. Now, today, Truxton wasn't much of anything until the 50s post-war car boom, and then became one of many Route 66's cities bypassed by the construction of Interstate 40 in 1979. It's very nearly a ghost town today with fewer than 200 residents and a handful of decaying Art Deco motels. So that's one of them. I'd stay there. Albuquerque, New Mexico, we've all heard of it in the New Mexico area. Back then, another important area to Route 66 was the National Old Trails Road, cobbled together in 1910 and spanned 3,096 miles from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles. Almost all of the trails from Albuquerque to Los Angeles, previously called the Grand Canyon Route, would become Route 66. Now, there are many Route 66 sites remaining in New Mexico's largest city. On the corner of 4th Street and Central Avenue, two of the original public roads from 1926 and 1937, and following either street leads to an assortment of long-standing neon-signed motels. So that road is still there, and the intersections are still there, and you can take them both. We're going to talk about Cajon Pass, California. Cojones.
You got some cojones on them.
I'm telling you.
There's the donkey to show you.
Back then is the last significant mountain range on Route 66 to negotiate before coasting to the Pacific Ocean on the Cajon Pass towards San Bernardino. It was also used by settlers coming to Los Angeles in the 1830s. Now, today, through Interstate 15 bypass, much of the alignment in the late 60s, parts of the original automobile route can still be seen from the Cajon Pass on Interstate 15 southbound lanes north of the pass. More leisurely and indirect dirt road can be seen and reported accessibility, high clearance area vehicles, high capacity vehicles can now take it on a four-wheel drive route. Oatman, Arizona is our next stop, and one of the most demanding stretches of Route 66 was stepped with hairpin turns through the Black Mountains and outside of Oatman in western Arizona. Motoring was dangerous even after Route 66 paved in 1938. Some of the early travelers would hire locals to navigate the stretch to avoid injury. Now, treacherous stretch of the highway still exists in the Oatman Highway, while the unincorporated village of Oatman Glory and a long pass of the decline in the mining industry since 1952 and the highway realignment. So there you have it.
Very good. I loved it. Thank you very much.
You
Route 66 history. Hey,